Everything by longevity tends to get off course. When they make a moonshot, it isn't the first set of the guidance systems that serves for the whole trip. They have what is known as mid-course correction, those fine-tuned changes that set you on a more certain course. And on the way to the destination called the moon, they are so important. Hey, if there's one objective you don't want to miss, it's the moon. Now, if you will make wealth and financial freedom that important a necessity, you will have the highest chance to arrive. Next, if you have not done so in a while, or if you have never done so, put together a financial statement. When I first met Mr. Shoaff and we talked about financial independence, he asked me if I had a current financial statement. I said, "What is a financial statement?" So I got my primary education in taking a picture of where I was financially. Mr. Shoaff explained that it is very important to know exactly where you are without kidding yourself, so that you can then come up with a good plan for going from where you are to where you want to be. It turned out to be fairly easy to put one together. You merely list the value of your assets on one side of a piece of paper and the total of what you owe, called your liabilities, on the other side of the paper. Then by subtracting one from the other, you come up with what we call your current net worth. Now, it doesn't tell you what you are worth as a person, but rather what you are worth in money. I said to Mr. Shoaff, my financial statement isn't going to look that good. He said, it is not important how good it looks. What is important is that you do it. So I put that first financial statement together. I had plenty of liabilities. Money I owed my parents, budget finance, my car, and all kinds of other debts. Now on the asset side, I really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel. I even put my shoes on the asset side. They were worth something. Wow, how embarrassing after 6 years of working. But it must be done. You don't have to put the results on a public bulletin board, because it's not important that the community knows how you are doing. Have you ever heard the expression, I don't know where it all goes? Well, from now on, make a new commitment to financial independence and to the value and the feeling that comes from knowing where it all goes and where it all comes from. It is just one of those important disciplines that cause you to prove to yourself that you are on a new road, walking in a new direction, becoming a new person, and arriving at a new destination. Without that effort, you will keep falling back. Hey, I found out you can make $5,000 a month and still go broke. You say, how could you go broke making $5,000 a month? It's easy. Spend $6,000. And when you make $5,000, spending $6,000 is not that difficult. Someone once said, if your outgo exceeds your income, your upkeep becomes your downfall. So, be the master over whatever you have and whatever you are. That's where the seeds of greatness are sown. Great wealth, great health, great results, great influence, and great lifestyle. Take interest and even delight in doing all the small things well. It makes you a sophisticated person who knows where the beginnings of wealth and happiness are.
There's something in you that says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy. I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your risk. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You are different. You have greatness within you. Dr. Howard Thurman, come forth, is a man that after having 238 radiation seed implants, and my PSA continued to increase. In fact, last year this time it was over 1,500, and the little C cancer had eaten 40% of my T1 vertebrae. And I was reading his words that night after leaving Florida Hospital, and doctors had told me that cancer had reappeared and metastasized in 8 areas of my body. And I began to laugh as the doctor spoke to me, and he was looking real serious. He said, why are you laughing? I said, I feel like Mother Teresa. He said, what do you mean? She said, Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I wish you didn't have so much confidence in me. And now my PSA is 0.0. I'm debt-free, cancer-free. Yes, indeed. I stand before you because of God's grace and mercy. And trust me, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. But Dr. Thurman was called upon by Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. He said, Howard, I want you to mentor my boy, MLK. He was a member of an elite group of orators and mystics and philosophers in his day. He was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and to Albert Schweitzer. He wrote, Deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment. He wrote some words that I was reading around 3 o'clock in the morning that grabbed. He said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never used those talents. You never used those gifts. You never used those abilities. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you. Only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what books, what leadership, what voice, what story will die with? Miles Monroe, great speaker out of the Bahamas, said the wealthiest place on the planet, it's not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. There you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books never written. There you'll find abilities and skills and talents and gifts the world never had an exposure to.
The son you gave away. Let's take it away from presidents and kings and prophets, and let's bring it down to earth. Let's bring it down to the level, the house you lost because you gambled the money away. I'm talking about shames that we carry around with us. The son we had out of wedlock that doesn't fit into the family we now have. And we don't know what to say to him because we create these shameful situations that become weight on our back, that presses us down to the ground, that leaves us in a state of being where we're not sure how to deal with the messes we made. And I know I've been saved, and I know I've been washed in the blood, but he's still standing there accusing me. What do I say to him? So I run to church and clap my hands and talk about the blood prevails, the blood prevails. But that boy don't care nothing about no blood. And every time you hear a baby cry, you think about the ones you aborted. I'm talking about shame. I'm talking about shame. I'm talking about the degree you got up under false pretense. I'm talking about shame. You got the title, but you don't know diddly about it. I'm talking about shame, and how do you live with it, and how do you process it? And I hate to tell you this because it's going to mess with your theology. You can't dance it away. No. You can't shout it away. You can't speak in tongues and make it go away. You can't prophesy and make it go away. In fact, some of the most judgmental, self-righteous people in the church do it as a disguise to camouflage their own shame, and they would rather come up with receipts on you than to admit who they are themselves. I'm talking about shame. Affects the way you treat your daughter. Shame. You're punishing her for stuff you did. You drove away the man you got over the man you lost. Talking about shame. Peter was utter shame, the kind of torment that sometimes church doesn't help. One man comes to Jesus and he says, I brought my son to your disciples and church didn't help him. Oft he cast himself into the water. Oft he cast himself into the fire. And I brought him to you church people and you couldn't help him because it was too deep for you. The importance of the prodigal son story that Jesus told is quite profound because he openly talks about a boy who thinks he's bigger than he is and thinks he's more ready than he is and says, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he goes out to do his own thing, and he has all these harlots, and he has all of these friends, and he has all of this money until it ran out. And when it ran out, they ran out with it. And he ends up in the hog pen, and you'd have to be an Orthodox Jew to understand how low a hog pen is to a Jewish boy. They won't even eat swine. They don't even touch swine. And now this boy not only is ready to eat swine, he is ready to eat that which the swine did.